Oh, hi guys. Welcome to the latest episode of Cricket Draft Insight. A slightly off-piste video today. England are playing Zimbabwe in a test match soon. Obviously, the first-class county select 11 playing against Zimbabwe at the moment. But there's actually quite a few players out there in county cricket and one or two other parts of the world who are eligible to play for Zimbabwe. Obviously, Ben Curran and Nick Welsh, off the top of my head, they might have been born in Zimbabwe, are now part of the team. But I just thought we'd look at some of the other players who could potentially also play for Zimbabwe. We'll start with Stevie Eskenazi. I'm not going to detail why these people are eligible, whether they were born there, parent, grandparent, anything like that. But as far as I'm aware, to start with, Stevie Eskenazi has just been dropped, I think, by Middlesex. Got himself back in the team. Historically done all right in white ball. Sam Robson was on paternity leave, so he was opening in county championship. Did all right, made a few starts at least, but maybe just didn't quite nail down that place. I'm not sure as well if it's as straightforward as just making yourself available. Maybe like even if you're born there, sometimes you have to go and live and play there for a bit, don't you? But first name on the list, potential top of the order batter, Stevie Eskenazi. Next up is another top order batter who's also been dropped, Eddie Byram. Obviously, Glamorgan, quite interesting. I think many of us were excited by Asa tried and found it a bit weird that he wasn't in the team to begin with because they're playing two spinners, or they wanted two spinners. It's great to see Kellaway in the team, but they then must have wanted Zainul Hassan's bowling, so he's opened the batting, started a bit, but they started with Byram ahead of Tribe because I think they thought Byram was in possession and he got injured, so Tribe played, and maybe it benefited Tribe because he scored some big runs in the second 11. Anyway, what I'm getting at is Eddie Byram could play for Zimbabwe. He used to play for Somerset. I think there's one big T20 innings. Done all right at times in the county championship, but out of the team at the moment. But there you go, Zimbabwe. If you're looking for a new opening partnership, Stevie Eskenazi and Eddie Byram, who I think actually might also be eligible to play for Ireland, just like I think Eskenazi might be eligible to play for South Africa as well. Anyway, there's your opening partnership, Eskenazi and Byram. Next up, Tawanda Muyeye, who has at least been name-checked by England, and a bit more consistency from him now, which is good to see. I think generally been at 4, which is where he should be. I don't think he should be opening in white ball cricket, and I think Kent have realised that because even when Crawley's not there, like they put Finch to open, even though I think is he keeping wicket this week. So Muyeye is at 4, yeah, fine in white ball, have a go opening. So it'll be interesting to see what the future holds. Obviously, if you're playing for Zimbabwe, then I think you need to be an overseas player, don't you, in county cricket? So it has an effect. Muyeye, obviously somebody hoping to qualify and be eligible to play for England. The older ones, Eskenazi, Byram, that's a bit less likely. But Eskenazi, Byram and Muyeye, potential Zimbabwe international batters. Just stepping away from England for a bit. When I was first getting into cricket, late 90s, 2000, I caught a bit of that New Zealand series when, it was the end of the world. And then against Zimbabwe, and I'm pretty sure Murray Goodwin was part of that team. And his son, Jaden Goodwin, plays in Australia. Might be Western Australia, off the top of my head. Not sure if he's even played T20s and much one days, but he's done all right, certainly in first class cricket. I think he went away to do some missionary work. Might have been born in Australia, but technically he's obviously eligible to play for Zimbabwe. So hopefully he can keep churning out the runs in Australia, and you never know. Moving on to all-rounders, Ryan Higgins, who is, of course, my most celebrated cricket draft player. He's also my captain this week, and he got out first ball. Went to play in Zimbabwe, so that's quite interesting. Went to play in Zimbabwe this winter. I couldn't afford to read the article on the cricketer, but I'm not sure what happened, and it sounds like he wasn't on the same page as the selectors, so he's not playing, which is a shame because it looks like Zimbabwe now have quite a significant fixture list, a lot more regular fixtures, particularly in Test cricket. So it's a shame. I don't mean to be disrespectful, obviously, to all the players in Zimbabwe who've, maybe played their cricket in Zimbabwe, and whatever selection policies they might have. But, Ryan Higgins would strengthen that side. I was communicating with some people on Twitter, and maybe because they don't follow in England, and I was trying to make clear that, they were questioning whether or not he would be in the team. I was like, he's the first name on your team sheet. Okay, he walked straight in. But it looks like it ain't going to happen. And unfortunately, it probably isn't going to happen for England either. But, also Middlesex's and hopefully our benefit. Another one is Luke Benkenstein. Very frustrating to me that Luke Benkenstein doesn't get to play much in the county championship for Essex. He's playing in this Zimbabwe match right now. and made a few starts. Has obviously done very well in second 11 cricket. If anything, nowadays, maybe more with the bat, but he's still taking wickets too. Hopefully, he'll be involved in white ball for Essex. Dale Benkenstein's son, obviously, who played for South Africa, which I guess means he's eligible for South Africa as well. But I think Dale was born in Zimbabwe. So anyway, Luke Benkenstein, obviously done very well for England 19s, England youth teams, but he's also eligible to play for Zimbabwe. Then got Michael Boob. I don't know, in the same way as Yadvinder Singh, whether or not Michael Boob is still an overseas player. And I thought we were going to find out this week because they have Webster and Latham, but because Boob got injured, I still don't technically know. I might have been born in South Africa, but I believe he's eligible to play for Zimbabwe. Obviously, been one of the absolute cricket draft, county championship stars this season because he's about 4.8, and he's taking wickets, scoring runs. But a familiar story, he's injured, unfortunately. I think now out probably for the most of the rest of the campaign, which is a shame. But hopefully, like many players, he can bounce back, get fit, and bounce back stronger. But Michael Booth is eligible to play for Zimbabwe. Right, I'm going quite random now. New Zealand, who have a history of quite a few South Africans going over there, playing, potentially getting into the national team. In the same way, obviously, some people come to England. Peter Younghusband, who, as well as having a great name, and I think he's about 37 years old, but he's been playing regularly. We've got a few older spinners. He's been playing regularly, and he's been taking wickets galore. I think it was like 8 wickets in an innings. I think he might have scored a first-class 100 as well. Leg spinner. Peter Younghusband. I mean, whether or not New Zealand are going to pick a 37-year-old spinner, and obviously if he's playing in New Zealand, he's probably not quite on Zimbabwe's radar. But born in Zimbabwe, has been taking wickets for fun, getting better and better, it would seem, all the time, scoring a few runs too. So there's another option for the Zimbabwe national team. Nottinghamshire have a lot of wicket-keeping options. So whether or not Dane Shadendorf will be seen again in the first 11, I'm not sure. He did play in second 11 the other day. I think he played a bit in Zimbabwe, maybe the year before last he went and played. But he's definitely eligible to play for Zimbabwe. Don't know what the future holds. Because like I said, a bit of competition. He's not quite in the mix. Even if he got released by Nottinghamshire, maybe he could go and play in Zimbabwe, like Ben Curran and Nick Welsh have gone and got themselves in the national team. Because we haven't really seen him. He had a brief spell, but we haven't seen much of Shadendorf in the Nottinghamshire first 11 in recent times. But there's a wicket-keeping option for them. And the only other one I'm aware of is Nathan Gilchrist, who's just reached 100 first-class wickets. One of 2 or 3 players who've gone with England Lions and come back, and they weren't necessarily immediately better. And Gilchrist had a bit of a struggle for a year or so. Was bowled, not taking as many wickets, far more expensive. Then there were just some signs late last season that he was getting back to it, and he started this season well. I think might have had concussion, so might have missed a game. But he's back playing, like I said, up to 100 first-class wickets, and I think did start playing a bit of T20 last year, and I think he should be playing T20 for them. Just needs to play. So back on the up, like I say, has featured around the England equation, but he's another one. I think he was born in Zimbabwe. Nathan Gilchrist. Right, so can I remember all those without looking at a sheet of paper? Stevie Eskenazi, Eddie Byram, Tawanda Mayeye, Jaden Goodwin, Ryan Higgins, Luke Benkenstein, Michael Booth, Peter Younghusband, Dane Shadendorf, and Nathan Gilchrist. That's nearly a full team. Let me know if I've missed anybody. I'm sure I have. But just for a bit of fun, if the Zimbabwe selectors are watching and they're not aware, got some very good players in Zimbabwe, players like Ernest Masuku, never had a cap, and some good players in the mix now. Exciting and interesting to see the likes of Ben Curran and Nick Welsh go there and do well as your more familiar names, Sean Williams, etc. So it'd be interesting to see how they compete against England, and it'd be interesting to see what the national side looks like in the years to come. All right. Thank you very much for watching. How's that?